All right, this is my shocked face that I'm recording. Hey, everybody, Shane here, daily-astrocat.com. Let me do this, okay? Today is Sunday, and it is what day is today? It's the 18th of January. So we've got our new moon in Capricorn, okay? This is some pretty good astrology. This is pretty important, so make sure you're paying attention and till the end of definitely till the end of this, okay? And if you're listening to the short version, well, there's no advice for you. Okay, I'll have to put that in the short version. Anyway, look, the moon's new in Capricorn at 2:52 in the afternoon. She's void course at 4:57 and enters Aquarius at 5:18 p.m., all on the East Coast, because that's where I live, okay? You can adjust your times accordingly. This is what is called the Kazimi moon. Now, Kazimi means in the heart of, all right? And it's different from the beams or combust or any of those other terms that you may have heard in fleeting terms of, or, just referred to rather, in general. However, in the heart of is a very beneficial aspect, especially if you want to begin a new project. The timing for this is pretty exact, however. You got a half an hour before or a half an hour after the new moon, because that's how fast the moon moves through our sky. The moon is conjunct first Mars at 10:15 in the morning, then Mercury 34 minutes later. After the new moon joins Venus in Aquarius at 9:03 p.m. And guess what? We round out the day with the moon conjunct Pluto. So that's a pretty tight stellium, right? That's a tight grouping there. The moon's going to traverse all that in one day, make all of those aspects, right? And look, we're going to end our day with Mercury forming a helpful sextile to Saturn. So it's a fitting exclamation point to a very busy weekend. Now, today's keyword is brilliant, because this is going to be brilliant. If you got some ideas and stuff like that, launch them today. That's definitely what you want to do. Now, the color is blue with red and white. See what I did there? Okay. This is a powerful day for beginning a new project. Just like I said before, plan on initiating it right around the exact time of that new moon. It's the beginning of a new chapter for us as we head into the last month of the lunar calendar. All the aspects that I listed are there to help us stake out a newly revised edition of ourselves. Yeah, we're around that corner. We've gotten through the Saturn difficulty. Now we're working with Saturn as we're moving into that Aquarian period, right? The Aquarian season. Okay, and with Pluto in Aquarius, some have argued that this is the age of Aquarius. So that would be something to aspire to, right? A little bit of a higher mindset. It's probably the most involved that the human intellect can tend to get. So let's do this. Now, we're rounding the corner and we're leaving that Capricorn season. So we're entering that Aquarius season, right? The snake, this is the year the snake sheds its skin as we feel this transformative power. This sets us up nicely as we head into the idealistic and freedom-loving year of the horse. Try not to be too conservative, however, over the next couple of days when considering your new project, and don't overthink the analysis. Mars is sextile Saturn and conjunct Mercury. Use your knowledge to guide your actions. This sets us up nicely for future returns towards the end of July of this year. Whoa, hey, astrology is actually predicting something, right? Last time we did this, we were right on. And actually, yesterday's astrology was right on as well. What a day Saturday was. It was very interesting. I was up in snow all day long, but I did what I had to do, and I got it done, and got it done with style, and just really, really setting myself up towards this astrology. The blueprint that I outlined, basically that whole thing that I just gave you with the future returns towards July, can actually be used as a roadmap. I'd plot the stages or steps to coincide with the moons up until the 808 portal, August 8th, right? And reevaluate where we're at that time. For me personally, I have an opportunity to greet this coming year of the horse as a year of abundance. Now, Look, this is going to challenge me personally. Gosh, I'm going to have to get used to making more money. How's this going to affect you? So let's talk about this. I need to look. Are you moving towards abundance, an abundance that you're maybe overlooking? That's an important point. Maybe there's something in your life that provides abundance that you're not quite sure. Maybe it's not monetary. Maybe there's a different sort of abundance that's there for you, just waiting for you to be able to see it, right? Now, a valuable lesson for today is that we need to live our lives for now, okay? We need to not hold on to green energy, but we need to use that energy to make our lives happy and to live our lives now, right? It doesn't do you any good to try to hold on to it, because what if something happens, right? That's right. We don't need to do that. This energy always comes back around. That's right. If you spend it on your happiness, you're going to be repaid with that happiness. Sometimes it's not that fleeting. If you invest wisely in what it is you're doing for yourself, right? Okay, when you have an opportunity to realize a dream, you should really take it. Now, that was today's lesson. It was quite interesting. The last aspect of the evening speaks to our growing sense of independence and freedom. The moon is conjunct both Venus and Pluto towards the end of the day, right? Eyes are opened wide as we see the real motives of small people who are calling the shots on the global stage. This too shall pass. For us who are engaged in the day-to-day, remember that it is your duty to oppose injustice everywhere, not just in particular places, right? This season will deliver us more freedom, but only if we first emancipate ourselves from our own mental chains that hold us in a scarcity mindset. There you go. Freedom all around, right? Okay, so that's pretty cool. I like that. Let me see. I'm at right there. Okay, very good. So let's talk about the event for today, shall we? Yes, we shall. In 1644, perplexed pilgrims in Boston report, 1644, yeah, I guess they still would be, right? Report America's first UFO sighting. Huh, how do you like that? John Winthrop, who was governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, wrote that early in the year, James Everell, a sober and discreet man, that's in quotes, and two others had been rowing a boat in the Muddy River, which flowed through swampland and emptied into tidal basins in the Charles River. They saw a great light in the night sky. When it stood still, it flamed up. It was about 3 yards square in the language of that time. And the governor reported when it ran, it would contracted into the figure of a swine. Okay. Oh, good thing they weren't around for the Salem witch trials 40 years later, right? Yep, that would have been quite a different outcome. Okay, so then we also have our birth is one Daniel Webster. He was born in 1782, and he died in 1852. He's U.S. Secretary of State from 1841 to 1843, and also from 1850 to 1852. He's a politician, a lawyer. He's born in Salisbury, New Hampshire. Now, look, why do I include I never include politicians, right? They're always artists, musicians, people that are of interest, right? Why Daniel Webster? Because I drive along the highway that's named after him almost every single blessed day. So it runs from Nashua, from Mass to Nashua, and then up to Manchester and beyond. I was actually on a part of it up in way north a little bit north of Concord today. Concord, New Hampshire being the capital of New Hampshire, in case you were wondering, right? So what is today all about, guys? It's about us. It's about freedom. It's about what we can do. It's about what we can begin, right? New beginnings, particularly in the afternoon. Be prompt. All right, Sue, let's sum this all up. Let's recapitulate, shall we? Today's keyword is brilliant, and the color is blue with red and white. All right, so appreciate and love every single one of you. Love everything you do for me. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, if you take advantage of it, is a 9. Get out of that scarcity mindset. And that is all I have for you. Happy astrocatting.